Morning, everyone. So, little pullback this morning, but not enough to make me think that we might still see upside here. We have an important level above 14,000. Keep an eye on that, right? So we'll get into it today. I'm not going to jump right into it yet. I want to just get right into it, but we'll take a second and wait for just a few minutes. Wait for some people to jump in. So interesting. We had the Chinese market. That's something I'm really focusing on right now. The Hang Seng, Shanghai Composite. Keeping an eye on those because it's pretty interesting right now. They're doing that QE, and I don't know. Maybe I'm keeping that's my next major watch. I want to see what happens over there. I'll pull up the news for you. It was yesterday. So they came out and said that they're gonna support the market, similar to like what we did when the virus was all over, right? We did the QE. They said sort of the same thing. So China intervention into the market. So this is interesting to me. I'm going to read a little bit more into it. I'm not fully versed into exactly what they're doing. They're trying to make me pay for every news article now in the world. Wall Street Journal probably going to do the same. Yep, there you go. Everyone's making me pay. Not going to pay. CNBC should be free, hopefully. So so this is something I'm definitely keeping an eye out for. This is something I'm definitely focusing on. It's a little bit interesting. I'm going to keep an eye on that. Obviously, keep an eye on our own market. Keep an eye on oil this morning. Oil's starting to push up as well. So, what happened at 2 o'clock? Is the trend clear now? No, I would not say that. We'll get into that in a little bit. We're still in a downtrend. We still have not broken that downtrend. So anything's still possible here, guys. I know we got the push. I know it feels like I know it feels nice to see that green finally, but we're still in that downtrend. Still have to be careful here. I think we need some consecutive green days behind us. I think we need a little bit more market clarity. And the only overarching problem that we have, we have still is the Russia-Ukraine. So that's another thing that we need to keep in mind, right? We still have Russia-Ukraine that could still cause panic and problems here on the market. So there's nothing that yesterday. I think what yesterday did well was it yesterday cleared up some futures. It gave the market a little bit of certainty into the future, right? The Fed's plan, the outline of interest rates. What's the plan to get? Inflation lower? What's the plan to hedge that inflation with interest rates? What's the interest rates going to be? What's the goal rate? What's the goal inflation number? And how do we get there, right? That's sort of what the market that's what the market wanted to see, wanted to hear. So I like that part. I am bullish on that part. I think the market knows what the plan is, and that's really all you need, right? You just need the market to know what the future holds, and that can help a market move higher. So inflation's still high. We all know that, right? There's always those, there's always everyone that's harping on the fact that inflation is high. The market understands that. That's why the market has fallen 25%, right? That's why we are where we are right now, because inflation's high. So that's something that's known and something that is, I believe, priced in almost fully. As long as inflation doesn't increase, if we get increased inflation ratings while we increase interest rates, that is no good, right? That's definitely not what we want to see. If we, from this point forward, start to increase rates, we start to see inflation either subside, go sideways, or even lower, then I think you have a possibility of a market that, holds up. So that's sort of what I think, you want to see moving forward, is you want to see interest rates slowly increase, which is a good thing. Interest rates are a good thing for the economy, for us. You can't just sit at 0%. Fed funds, which obviously sort of translate into interest rates that you and me experience. As you guys know, Fed cannot change interest rates. They can change the Fed funds rate, which will obviously influence where interest rates are. So That's your ideal situation, right? For everyone here, for the health of the United States economy, you want to see interest rates slowly rise at a good pace. You want to see inflation start to slow down, and that should be a situation where the market is okay. Yeah, I mean, inflation will increase. You don't know that, Mr. TNT. I understand that's your opinion, but we don't know that, right? We can't just make that assumption. So we have to see what happens. I'm not here to predict what inflation does, what inflation doesn't do. I'm just here to let you know that if inflation does not increase, if the interest rates do work like they're telling us, then that's a good scenario. We'll have to see what the readings show us. So that's your two scenarios moving forward. I think that is a good scenario and a bad scenario, right? If inflation does not slow down due to interest rates, then that's your bad scenario. If we do see inflation slow down, then that would be your good scenario. So for the short term, I think we just need to ride this momentum, see where it takes us. We'll see what I think today's a pretty monstrous day. I think it's a very interesting day. I think it's something that we need to focus on to see what the market does today. Is there continuation, or do we just lose it? And that's something that we'll have to see today. Do I think we'll make an all-time high in the Nasdaq? That's becoming less and less, I think, of a possibility, in my opinion. I just want to see us. I want to see us put in a low. I don't think we have a right to be at all-time highs in the Nasdaq this year. With everything going on, but I just want to see, as someone that invests long term, and wishes in the good of the economy and the good of the stock market. I know a lot of people are very negative and they want to see bad things happen to the stock market. I am not that way, right? I want to see good things happen to the stock market. I want to see the market go higher. That's what we all want to see. I would assume people that are not just pissed off. That's what most human beings would want to see, right? I think we all would like to see the market go higher in the long term. So, I'm that way. So I'm always going to be someone with a glass half full, but I'll be realistic at times. So seeing the Nasdaq at all-time highs this year, I think is a little bit of a stretch. But that's my feelings, guys. That's my feelings after yesterday. I think it's a good thing that we saw inflation, or we saw interest rates increase. I think it's good that we saw the market not melt down. I think that was a good thing that we saw. We could have easily seen a complete meltdown yesterday. We did not, right? So that's a positive. Moving forward, we just need to sort of keep an eye on this. So we'll get a little deeper into that, later. But here, let's go ahead and start. Does the stream look okay for everyone? It says YouTube's not receiving enough data. I think we're okay. Scheduled March 17th, 8 o'clock. Yeah, there's two sides to everything, guys. I'm not here to, shove a certain opinion down your throat. I am not someone that's going to, go crazy in one direction. I'm just sort of telling you guys what I think, and you can accept it. You can try to fight me on it if you like. I'm not gonna get into that. So that's what I think. I mean, so let's just go ahead and look at what's going on today. Let's look at what the Nasdaq did yesterday. Let's look at where the market's sitting. We'll look at the technicals, and we'll look forward and see what we can expect. Right, today is going to be a big thing. Yeah, sorry, Henry. It's probably a bad word to use. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. All right, so futures, we'll take a look. Economic earnings calendar. So earnings calendar, I haven't really focused on earnings basically all this week. I probably should, but I'm just not going to trade. I don't trade earnings typically, so I'm not really that interested in the small amount of earnings that we have left. So here it is real quick. Whoops, I just turned my lights off. There we go. So here's earnings. So today is today's Geez, today's Thursday already, guys. Holy crap. So Dollar General was this morning. Maybe keep an eye on that. Okay. That's unbelievable. Wow. It's sad. Hide user from channel. Oh, why did I hide? I didn't mean to do that. Uh-oh. I just hid someone by accident. Oh, man. How do I get them back? Oh, what a mess. I'm trying, guys. I need to add a moderator. Who wants to be a moderator? I just hid someone from the channel by accident. I'm going to have to reach out to them, or I'll look at it later. All right. Someone is saying bad things in the chat. I'm going to have to figure out I'll do it later. I'm going to have to figure out how to get YT back on this stream. Let me write that down. All right. Always an interesting start to the morning here on the live stream. All right. So FedEx is after hours today. GameStop is after hours today. Should be interesting. We'll keep an eye on those two. I'm really not sure. What happens there. I'm not going to be trading those earnings, but you guys can watch those two, FedEx and GameStop. So keep an eye on that. All right. Economic calendar. Let's pull that up real quick. I think we're almost done for the economic calendar this week. We can see today we have jobless claims. I'm not sure. We'll keep an eye on how that does. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out how to get YT back. I'll go through and figure it out. Initial jobless claims at 8:30 today. We'll keep an eye on that. Home sales on Friday, nothing much there. Next week, pretty empty next week, just jobless claims. So keep an eye on those. Jobless claims today and jobless claims next week. We'll see what happens, but that's all we have for economic today, and we'll see what the market reacts to that. So the MOAS is coming. All right. So then we'll go over some of the Chinese names. The Hang Seng is up 7% again today, so very interesting to see that. Another big push to the upside on the Asian markets. 3 favorite charts right now. We'll look at those. Financials bounce. XLF. Oil's up above 100 again. XLE had a very nice pullback. Cars going crazy again. Very interesting. That stock's getting going once again. We'll see what happens. Tesla at the 20 SMA, and Upstart at 85. We'll see all this, and then we'll go over what you guys want to look at on the Google Docs. If you guys are a member of the channel, you can go ahead and put your tickers in the Google Docs, and we'll go ahead and look at that today. So we have already some of those there, and if you guys want to add more, feel free to do so. Yeah, YT, if you can hear this, I will get you back in the stream, man. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. All right. Futures. So, here we go. Press the like button before we do. Why not, right? All right, guys. So, here's the Nasdaq, and what can I say? What can I say right now about the current trend? What I can say is that we did close above the 20 SMA. That's the first thing that catches my eye. So, a close above the 20 SMA is something that we have not seen. We've only seen once before. right? This is the only day we saw a close above the 20. Now, on this day, the following day completely closed below it. So, for me, guys, today, if the Nasdaq closes back below the 20 SMA today, I do believe that, I'm not someone that's going to be trusting this move, right? Today is a big day for me. And I'm not going to try to take any massive positions until I see what happens today. If we close back below the 20, if we get back below that 20 and we start to slip today, then I think the trend has continued. I think everything is the same. I don't think yesterday gives me much of confidence for more upside. So that is something I am very closely watching today, and I think everyone should be. I think that's going to be a big. I think that's going to be a big thing to watch. What do we do at the 20 SMA today? On the flip side, if we close above the 20 and actually start to get some continuation here, that would be the first time that we have seen 2 days of continuation and close above the 20 SMA. And that gives me a little bit of more confidence to see maybe something more, right? So this 20 SMA is pretty big to me today. This is a pretty big, pretty interesting level for me to watch today to see what happens. So we're right around 13,700, 13,750 on the 20 SMA on the daily chart today. So that is something I will definitely be watching. If we go to the 4-hour chart, we can sort of take a look at where some previous resistance is sitting. So the first one is clearly going to be right around where we're rejecting right now. Let's just call it around 14K, right? So we can see, right, these previous lows from back here is sort of where we're sitting right now. So that's a problem, right? This is a very big problem right here. 14K, 14K. You remember when we were at 14K, right? And 14K. We are right back in that level. So we got the push, but do we reject off this right here? You guys see these these previous support levels? This is a massive level. Support, 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 support. We are starting to reject off that level, right? So this is something that we need to watch today. Do we hold above 14,000? I think that is the next crucial thing, in my opinion. If you are looking at price action and technicals, that's the next thing you'd like to see. You'd like to see two things today if you are bullish. You want to see a close above the 20, and you would ideally like to see us get above 14,000. Those two things would give me more confidence into this move. That's what I would want to see. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if we get this push over 14,000 over this previous support, potentially into resistance, and then the 20 SMA. If those things don't happen and we reject here today and we close back below the 20, then I would think that we continue on the same trend that we have been on, right? So I'm making it very easy for myself, right? I'm giving myself some framework as to what I need to see and what I need to see and how that makes me believe the market, how strong that makes me think the market is. So I need to see 14,000 and a close above the 20 today for me to be not bullish, but for me to think that maybe there is some continuation. And then if we close back below the 20, if we reject 14K today, then we are clearly still on the same downtrend. So it makes it very easy, right? Those are my two things, my two guidelines coming into today. I don't need to try to guess. I don't need to try to, predict. I just need to see what the market closes at. That is something that a lot of people don't do. They try to predict and try to guess. They don't care. They just are like, oh, it's going back down. I don't care, right? No, I want to see what the market closes at. I want to see what it does, and that's going to take today, right? Today is going to be the deciding factor for me. So let's see what today does. You have a very clear outline of what you need to look for, and it makes it pretty easy. So let's keep an eye on that. I think there was one thing that I'm not sure. Before I pull this up, I'm not sure if it's valid. But someone in the chat yesterday showed me there was some divergence. Yeah, there actually is some divergence, which is actually quite interesting on the Nasdaq. And let me see, where was the last time we had that divergence? Trying to remember where the last time we had divergence was on this Nasdaq market. I'll find it somewhere. But yeah, I mean we're having divergence here on the Nasdaq. If you guys know what bullish divergence is, it's when the market goes lower but the RSI goes higher, right? So you have lower lows right here and you have higher lows right here. That is called divergence for anyone's unaware. And that's sometimes something that gives you a little bit of insight into what's going on, and if there's a reversal coming. Now, I'm not saying I would never trade off this. This is just not something I'm typically willing to trade off of. But this is something that that's something that a lot of people do watch. So I just wanted to share that with you. Shout out to whoever that was in the chat. I forgot who it was, but someone pointed this out to me in the chat yesterday. You have a lower low on the Nasdaq. And then it's an RSI divergence where the RSI is actually going higher. So you have a higher low and a higher high, whereas the Nasdaq price action was making a lower low. That is divergence, and you can look it up all over the internet. I'm not here to argue if that's something that's valid or not, but that is something that is widely talked about in the stock market. So that's what I would watch. You have lower lows and you have divergence here. So it's actually quite interesting. That is something that I am going to monitor as well. So keep an eye on that. All right, let's go ES. So ES is very similar as well. ES is sort of, you guys can see right here. You can see that right here we have the 20 SMA on the ES as well, and it always rejected, right? This was the only time we got the close above, and we rejected the next day, right? So here we have a close above the 20, and Josh formed a death cross region. I'll have to see that. Here is the 20 SMA on the S&P, and we got the same exact thing, right? Above the 20 SMA, do we hold above it? Do we hold above that level today? I want to see the S&P 500 close above the 20, which is currently trading at around 4290, right around that area. Let's just call it 4300. That's where you'd want to see. Now, interesting enough, on the S&P, guys, we are sort of above, we're essentially above this previous support, right around this 4,300 level. So the ES actually did pretty well to push higher yesterday through some of this previous support. You guys can see right here, we got the push through. So I would like to see, do we come back and hold 4,300? That is something that I'll definitely want to see today. We can see very often in the past, right here, you guys can see, very often in the past, you guys see a previous support, right? Previous support, previous resistance at 43, previous resistance at 43. And then you guys can see, I would like to know if the S&P pulls back, does it hold 43? So that is what I'm going to be watching today. 4,300 on the ES. What happens when we pull back to that level? Is there any support at that level? And then do we close above the 20 SMA? If we do neither of those, then I believe we are still on the same exact downtrend that we have continued to be on, right? This is the same exact downtrend that we continue to be on. And if none of this happens today, if we do not break above either the downtrend, hold above the 20, hold above 4,300, we cannot see the market, right? We don't want to see the market get back below this 20 SMA and 4,300. They are basically sitting at the exact same level. So you can see right here, this is a monster area on the market today. Right here at 43, if you come back down to that level, there needs to be support. There needs to be demand at that level for any type of hope of seeing more upside. If there is nothing there, if we slip right back below, we are right back to where we started. So that is it's very easy. If you know what you're looking at today, guys, which I hope you do if you're watching the live stream, it's very easy to get a feel for what happens moving forward. That is just a major telling point today at 4,300. So keep an eye on that. YM, Dow Jones, Mike Jones. we can see that right here, we are rejecting right off of 34,000 on the Dow. Look at this. So 4-hour chart, Dow Jones, 34,000. You can see right here. It's resistance, 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 resistance. So what do we need to see on the Dow today? It's very clear, guys. A break over 34,000. That's it. If you don't get a 34,000 break, then you're probably going to move back down to this 33.4. Hopefully you hold support there, but you need to see a 34,000 break. That would give you your that gives you your insight as to what's going to happen moving forward. 34,000 must break if you are looking to see if this market continues. If it cannot, you're going to slip back down. So 34,000, huge level on the Dow. Russell was actually pretty strong yesterday, but it's still stuck in this sideways channel. But it was very, very strong yesterday, respectively. So we'll see. I mean, I say the same thing, right? As long as you're below 2,100 and you're above 1,900, then I think this market just continues to trade sideways. We need to see a 2,100 move before I can even get comfortable looking at small cap stocks. So until that happens, I will not focus on the Russell. We'll see if it does get up into 2,100. Definitely not today, but let's see what happens. Do we get that push? So to outline, guys, today, we got a nice push yesterday, but I would not come out here today and trust it with your entire size. I would be a little bit cautious today. We have a 20 SMA on the daily chart across all indices that I would watch. 20 SMA, you would want to see us close above that 20 today. That is major. 14,000 is the resistance above on the Nasdaq. That is a huge level to watch. And if we go to the hourly chart, I want to just show you one last thing. The previous resistance that the Nasdaq couldn't get above, which was around 13.8. You have resistance, 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 and resistance intraday yesterday. That is a very short-term intermediary sort of support level that I would like to see hold today. So here you guys go. This is like my short-term watch on the 5-minute chart today. You guys can see right here. This was yesterday's price action. We got the push early morning. We slipped. FOMC came out, or federal funds rate. We got the big push. If you are looking for that early morning scalp to the upside, right? If you're looking for that early morning upside move that you can trade this morning and get out, you need to hold this 13.8 previous high on the Nasdaq, right? This is a must hold right here. If you get this slip, then I think, the morning's going to be weak. So this is a big hold. If you're looking for that morning push, you need to hold around this 13,820, 13,800 level on the Nasdaq. Keep that in watch. All right. So that's the futures. I want to show you guys real quick the HSI HK. That is the Hang Seng Index. It was up 7% yesterday, and it was up 9% the day prior. So 16% in 2 days on this market, right? And why is this happening? It's happening, and it is a very sold off market. So I wouldn't say it's getting into a bullish area, but what I will say is the Chinese government is saying that they are going to be supportive of the market. And does that cause something here, right? Do we see us, come back to something maybe around 25, maybe something back within this range that it typically has been trading in? Do we get back into that, right? There's still about 15 to 20% to the upside for that to get back in there. I'm not sure. I'm not a master of the Asian markets, but I'm definitely watching this, guys. This is something that you want to at least know what's going on here. A lot of people are sort of tunnel visioned into our own market. I think it's smart to learn about what else is going on in the world. This is something that I definitely want to watch, right? You have a gap up to around 22.3, which is another 4-5% to the upside. And this is interesting, guys, because if this continues higher, you might see more strength on stocks like Baba, like Neo, like Baidu, like JD. And those are opportunities that you can take advantage of. So keep an eye on this. Keep an eye on the HSI. This is the Hang Seng Index, and it was up 7% yesterday. That's another huge move to the upside on an index. So just wanted to share that with you. You guys can see BABA reacted very positively to that yesterday. Not quite as much this morning, but you got a big push higher on BABA yesterday, about 35% to the upside yesterday on BABA, which is pretty wild. A little bit of a slip this morning, but holding up pretty well. Would like to see BABA hold above maybe $100 today. That would be somewhere that I'd be watching. And I am definitely in belief that if the government assists the Chinese markets, right? If that is something that steps in, I could definitely make the case for seeing BABA, have a little bit of strength here. This is something that's been sold off quite a bit. And I'm not going to try to fight against a QE type of market where they're buying stuff, right? So I'm going to see what happens here. I'm thinking 110 is maybe where BABA moves to. That is my first watch. You can see right here, previous support, previous support, previous support. I think BABA probably moves to 110. I think it has, every right to, right into this 110. I don't see why it would stop before that. I think you get your push into 110. I think that's where it forms a little bit of trouble here. And then maybe, just maybe, off the back of some QE and a strong Asian market, BABA can continue. But that is something that we have to wait and see. All I can tell you is that BABA, I haven't read into their financials in quite a long time, but I'm assuming BABA does a pretty good job. And it's just been sold off because Asian stocks and Asian markets just are, they're just not, they're not liked. And it's down 77%. So, I'm not trying. I think it's a little early to try to make a play here. But if their government does assist their markets, this could absolutely be a time where BABA sees a little bit of a bounce here. So that's a watch that I would be keeping on your watch list. Baidu had a monstrous day. JD, look at this bounce in JD, right back up, literally straight back up to where it was. This is either a fantastic opportunity on some of these plays back to the upside, or this is one of the largest potential gap fills that we might be able to play, right? So that's what I'm waiting to see. You do have this huge gap on the daily chart. I'm not quite sure if that's going to come back yet. We need to see weakness, but yeah, guys, this is a market that I would be focused on to see what happens there. All right. Yeah, I mean, that's what I figured. BABA fundamentals are just fantastic. It's just the stock is just hated. Things will turn around eventually, maybe. So keep an eye on it. Jobless claims are out. I'm not even going to look at them, guys. I mean, is there anything? I guess we'll just take a quick second to see. I don't think it's going to cause much of anything here. What are the numbers? Let's see. Let's see if Walter's got them for us. Yeah, Walter's got it for us in the Discord. Jobless claims down 15,000 to 214. So their jobless claims are slightly down. Basically flat. So no reaction. Here's your CNBC article. Jobless claims total 214, better than expected for tight labor market. So we'll see if there's any reaction to there. Jobless claims were better than expected by 14,000. Nothing crazy, not a big. We're not seeing anything here. It's funny, man. The more and more that I've been watching this market, and the more and more really big things that come out, the less we get reaction to jobless claims. It's just becoming like something that's just not even focused on anymore. I think jobless claims is more something that the Federal Reserve just takes into consideration on their next, on their decision making, right? So we'll see. Right now, nothing. Let's just continue. All right, my three favorite charts. Now, before I get into this, before I get attacked by the bears, these are not charts that I would be personally going heavy into right now. These are charts that, as someone that maybe is wanting to start a long-term portfolio, if you are an actual investor and you're not worried about what happens on these charts over the next day or the next 2 days or the next year or the next 2 years, these are charts that I would be very interested in starting to buy shares. If you do not own shares of these companies, I think you're potentially getting a fantastic opportunity here on 3 charts that I'm about to show you. They might turn out to be great option trading charts if the market does come back to some type of normalcy and upside. I can't say that happens yet. I'm not going to be the one to tell you that that is going to happen. But these three charts look really, really good. And I'm going to start with Apple, guys. If I go to the daily chart and I go to Apple and we go to this chart on the daily, this 150 hold is something that I am very intrigued in and very interested in. Is this an area where I think is not a bad time to pick up some shares on a stock like Apple, which is down, if I can get my tool to come out, 17-18%. Then in my opinion, if you are someone that wants to start buying Apple shares, I think this is a time where you can start to nibble. 150 support, 17% down on a stock like Apple. I think this is a very interesting looking chart. There is the downtrend that is obviously still there, but if this market does find something, if we start to find any upside, this is a stock that I would want to keep an eye out, guys. This is a stock that is sitting at a very strong support level here at 150 and has a very nice discount. The next one is NVIDIA, a very similar chart. And remember, guys, these stocks are all, stocks that that are quality tech names. They're not like small caps. So NVIDIA is the next one. You guys can see support. 210 has been an absolute beast of a level, right? It continues to hold. It's held here for the last 3 months. NVIDIA has not been able to get below 210. And you can see yesterday we started to get a very nice push off that level. Now, if this breaks this downtrend, if we start to get some upside on this market, I don't think you can go wrong by starting to dollar cost average into NVIDIA at around the low 200s. I think this is a great area as someone that wants to invest in this stock, NVIDIA, which is arguably one of the best, one of the companies that will profit the most off of future innovation. NVIDIA is a fantastic name here, and I don't want people to lose sight of what you just got. You just got a 37% drop on a stock like NVIDIA. If you really think that NVIDIA is going out of business into the future, I think that's just a little bit too bearish, too short-sighted, short-minded thinking. This is a stock that I think we all know is absolutely in charge of our future technology. We all know that NVIDIA's products are constantly sold out. There's demand out the you-know-what for NVIDIA. So down 37% on a stock like NVIDIA, I have been buying as many shares as I possibly can afford down here. So I'm not saying to do it. I'm just sharing you the chart. I think this is looking like a fantastic chart at 210. Really nice looking stuff. And finally, another chart that I want to show you is AMD. AMD, very similar. Depends on who you like better, AMD, NVIDIA. Maybe you like AMD better for the future. But another chip stock that looks really good here. Support. You're down 40% on a stock like AMD. It's not every day you get a 40% discount on a stock like this. I would at least keep an eye on it, guys. So not saying these are buys right now, but these are just charts that you want to at least monitor, right? We need to be monitoring these discounts on these tech stocks. We can't just continue to ignore the possibility of a future opportunity, right? How many people made how much money when the virus hit? People became millionaires buying the virus, the panic, buying in March 2020. They became millionaires buying that panic over the next 2 years, right? Depending on how much they bought. Either way, they did very well. I don't see why you would change that type of mentality here for your 30, 40-year time horizon on this dip. All right, I don't see that as a reason. I don't see this as a reason to change that long-term mentality. So if you have that mentality, if you believe in dollar cost averaging and investing for your future, you're getting a fantastic opportunity here again, and it's something that I would absolutely be taking advantage of. I know I am. All right, so if you missed out on it, you're getting it again. I mean, you're getting 40% on AMD. That's more. I think that's more than AMD dropped on the virus. Where did AMD go on the virus? Let's see. March 2020, right around here. Is that this? Yeah. I mean, the price is definitely higher. It dropped around 33%. Yeah, it dropped around 33%. So, anyways, that's just my thought. Do with it as you please. But that just, if you come here, you're going to hear my thoughts. That's my thought. All right. XLF. Very nice push on XLF yesterday. You guys can see right here. Nice push on XLF. Big push to the upside. And you can see that this is maybe the start to maybe some strength on the financials, right? Maybe the higher Fed funds rate does help out banks a little bit. Maybe financials do sort of gets a little bit of sympathy from that. And maybe you start to see financials push. So at least keep an eye on it, right? JP Morgan had a nice push yesterday. You can see right here on the daily chart. JP Morgan's been sold off. JP Morgan push, Goldman Sachs push, Bank of America, right? XLF. So I just want to share with you guys, XLF did push a little bit yesterday. So I would see if that continues today. Okay, oil. Oil is back above 100. That is crazy. So oil back above 100 is actually holding a support here, right? We're at $100. So let's see how this affects the market. This could affect the market a little bit today. If we see oil continue to rise, it came all the way back to where it should have, right? This is where we were sort of trading prior to this ridiculous spike. You guys can see the spike sort of started around $95. So we just basically came back to where we were trading previously. So I would always expect there to be a little bit of buying at that level, right? So you can see big spike, big comeback, basically a pump and dump, and then back to that $95 level. Drink my coffee. So 95, keep an eye on oil. You are getting a little push. See how this affects the market today. I would also monitor XLE. This could be an index that gets, or an ETF that gets some upside as well from this, right? So you can see the XLE is pushing higher because of the increasing oil prices, because of CVX, XOM, the two largest components. This is a very nice break and retest on XLE. This is exactly what we talked about on our stream, right? We talked about wanting to see XLE pull back to this $70 level. What did it do? It did exactly that. It pulled back to 70 for us. It gave us a perfect break and retest. I would see if the XLE can hold here. I would want to see if you start to get a little bit more continuation. And if you do, this could be a very nice continuation move. Break and retest, $70. I would look to see if the XLE does continue higher here. That's what I would watch. So very nice little pullback there, and something that is very possibly an opportunity. Not going to spend too much time on this because I have no idea why this stock is going higher, but I just wanted to share it with you. I don't want anyone to feel like they missed out on this, or you're going to lose a lot of money on it. It's one of the two, right? I'm not going to touch it because this is just not my style, but you guys can see car. I don't know if anyone remembers this day. This legitimately went up to $542. This went up 215% in one single day. I was watching it. I was here live, sitting on my desk with the Discord chat, and this thing just did not stop. Next few days, it came right back down and came all the way back down to fill that entire move. So you filled that entire move. You found support. And look at what's happening again. I do not know why this happened yesterday. I don't know if it's for the same reason that this happened. I don't know if this is a short squeeze. I don't know if this is manipulated. I'm not sure what's going on here. But all I can tell you is that if this thing breaks above 316, this might go crazy again. Or on the flip side, 316 could be your best opportunity for a short or a put option. So I would be shocked to see this get through 316 again. That would be pretty insane. But yeah, watch 316, 320 area. That's previous resistance here on car. just wanted to let you guys know this thing was up like 40% yesterday, and I figure I would show you. CAR is Avis Budget Group, if anyone's not aware. This is not a, penny stock manipulated, or maybe it is manipulated, but it's not a penny stock type of, low float squeeze, right? This is CAR, Avis rental car. I don't understand what's going on here. It was earnings, but it was intraday, and it was not anything it was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. It was during market hours. It was absolutely insane. Yeah, guys, I know, and I understand the news, but I don't think, something shouldn't be moving. I usually, this isn't normal stuff, right? This is not a normal. Tell me, have you ever seen Apple move like this? It's just a very strange, but yeah, okay. So they got share repurchase. I guess that's the news. Share repurchase yesterday. Maybe there's more. Maybe there's more because of the share repurchase, but that's craziness, right? I mean, that's just insanity. So I would be careful here. But yeah, just letting you know, cars going absolutely crazy. That's not a very normal move. You guys can see it's sort of doing whatever it did here. Getting bought by Apple. Yeah, we just spreading rumors now. Tesla. All right, guys. So Tesla is where we'll go ahead and I think was that the last one? No, then Upstart. All right. So Tesla, we can see 20 SMA. That's huge, right? 20 SMA is huge on Tesla. You can see right here, all these rejections at the 20, and you're getting rejected once again, right? So I would be, this is what I'd be focused on Tesla, guys. This could easily come back down off this 20 SMA rejection. You can see right here, pushed into it yesterday and starting to reject. So I'm not that confident on Tesla here, to be honest. You can see a lot of resistance up here in the 840s, 850s. This is a monstrous level here. Do you guys remember this level? You have the previous, let me go to the hourly. Let me go 90-day hourly. You can see it a little better. Here you go. All right, guys. So you can see, look at all this resistance. You have previous support right here. Previous support all right here. Turned into resistance all here. Turned into resistance all here. And look at what it's doing as it pushes into it now. So do I think Tesla can get through this level? I would be very cautious. This looks like a very difficult level on Tesla in the 850s, 840s, 850s. Looks very difficult to me. And the daily chart at the 20 SMA also looks very difficult to me. So be careful here on Tesla, guys, today. You're going to be trading this into a very difficult level. Please remember that. If you are trading Tesla today, you are not trading it. You're not trading easy mode Tesla here. You are trading Tesla up into a very heavy level. So just be aware of that. You have to understand that if you get into calls on Tesla today, you are going to be approached by some very nasty resistance up here. So just to keep that in mind, if you are trading it, make sure you are aware of that. It may be easier just to trade it back to the downside. We'll see. All right. Last but not least, Upstart. This is a stock that I've started to dollar cost average in myself. I'm starting to buy shares, 2% of my portfolio's value. It's nothing crazy, but I do want to have a little exposure here because I would like to see how Upstart reacts to higher interest rate environment. 10 years down the road, 5 years down the road, if Upstart is still, doing well, which I'm willing to put some money on, I want to see how they're going to be operating in a higher interest rate environment, because I am totally in belief that the economy is going to be in a higher interest rate environment into the future, right? I don't foresee, 5 years from now that the U.S. is going to be at 0% interest rates. So if that happens, how does Upstart How does Upstart perform in that environment? I think they should perform well. So that's why I am interested in starting to, get some shares of Upstart down here. I think this is a company that is set up to benefit from that higher interest rate environment. It has never, in its IPO's life, in Upstart's life, since it's IPO'd, it has never gone through a economy with higher than 0% federal funds rate. So what happens when there is a higher than 0% federal funds rate? Does that benefit Upstart? That's what I'm watching, and that is something that's interesting to me. So that's why I'm starting to buy Upstart shares, and I like this little 85 hold. Keep an eye on Upstart, guys. I think it's a company that could benefit from this environment. I think that is something that we should all think about. What companies are going to benefit from a higher interest rate environment? Which companies will benefit? Which companies will get affected, right? That is something that we need to make sure that we all think about here in the near future. All right, I'm going to go over what the members want to look at. We have Baidu, Neo, JD, LMT, and WRK. And then we're going to get out of here because it's 8:50. Let's do this quick. BIDU, right? Big move yesterday because of the Asian markets. What does Upstart do? They give loans basically for startup companies. If you need money, you can go ahead and use Upstart. So they lend money to consumers that need for either personal loans. Here, I'll pull it up. They give loans out to basically anything, I think. But I think it started as for startup companies. So personal loans, auto refinance, debt consolidation, credit card consolidation, home improvement loans, wedding loans, every kind of loan you could ever want. You can go to Upstart for it. You can also be a lender on that app as well, which is pretty cool. If you guys are sitting on some cash and making some money, you can actually be a lender on Upstart, which is actually pretty awesome. If I had enough money, I would do that and just lend out money if I had it and let people borrow it, and you can make a nice little return on it. And when do those types of people make more money, right? When do people like that make more money? When interest rates are higher, right? So interesting, and something that I definitely am focused on. So there you go. BIDU. Push higher. I do watch the VIX. The VIX. I've talked about this to tons and tons of people. I've been I get approached by a lot of people as to why I don't watch certain things like indicators, the VIX, and I do watch the VIX. I'm not saying I don't, but these are all lagging indicators, guys. I can tell what these things are doing before I can even look at them, right? I can tell you that the VIX went down yesterday by not even looking at it because the market went up. So I know the VIX is elevated. That's something that I know. I don't need to watch it on a second-by-second basis because I already know what it is doing. Sort of like Bookmap, right? I had this conversation with someone in the chat yesterday. Bookmap is something that's good. It's cool. But you can tell where the big bubbles on Bookmap are by just looking at the charts, right? So, for example, NVIDIA was the example, and they were showing me Bookmap at 245 was a big sellers were stacked up at 245, right? And I don't need to see Bookmap to know that, right? I already know that there's sellers stacked up at 245 because look at this supply zone at 245. So these are all things that I look at, but you guys, something that I would, give some advice to people out there. If you are new to trading and you can't spot these levels yourself, then sure, I say use them and it might help. But if you are someone that trades often and you can start to spot these things by yourself, I don't think you need any of that. Bookmap basically just shows exactly what you can find on the chart, but some people are just not used to finding it on the chart, and they need a little bit of a cheat code like Bookmap to help them out. Nothing wrong with that, but it's a very expensive tool to basically see what's already on the chart, right? So I know it does, but I think most people use it for that reason. I maybe there is more to it, but I think whenever I see Bookmap shown to me, which I don't, so I'm sorry. I'm not saying anything bad about Bookmap, guys. Before you come at me, there's probably a lot of things that I don't know about Bookmap, but whenever I am presented with Bookmap, I am just shown big supply levels that I already can spot on the chart. So I'm sure there's more. I'm not hating on Bookmap. You don't need to instantly attack me about Bookmap. I'm just letting you know that there's a lot of things out there that you can find by just reading the supply and demand zones. All right. Next, BIDU was the stock we were looking at. Just keep an eye on the Asian market, guys. If you're looking at BIDU, NEO, JD, which is 3 of the ones here on the members list, you just got to watch the Asian market and see if BIDU is going to hold around this 135, right? 135, it's a big level. I would see if that holds there. Keep an eye on that. NEO, you can also see, it's in the downtrend, guys. That's something you got to remember, right? In a downtrend, and you are seeing a little bit of upside. Yeah, everyone has their own style. Absolutely agree. I'm just letting you guys know how I feel about it. So support 18, and that's what I'd be watching on NEO, right around this 18. See if that holds today. 18, that's going to be a big hold. JD, I always find a way to get the chat going a little bit, but that's okay. That's why I'm here. JD, support 62. It got above it. I would want to see it hold above 62 today. So all these levels that you need to see hold today are going to be very important for these stocks. LMT, I think LMT is finally losing it. Why is it losing it? Because you're starting to see some cracks in the Russia-Ukraine war, right? You're starting to see some news about potential talking and all this. Whatever happens, I don't know. I'm not trying to predict what happens here, but there is a little bit of news that came out yesterday about potential, friendly talks. I don't know exactly the details, but that's how I'll define this. That's why you got the downside on LMT. If that continues, I think LMT will come right back to where it started, guys. I talked about this when LMT came out. When LMT started to push here, I said war-related moves never hold up long-term. A war-related move like this on LMT will not hold up long-term. This is a move that is a pump because of fear and because of momentum and people trying to take advantage of it. And it will absolutely come back to where it was previously. So that's what I'd keep an eye out for. War-related moves do not hold up long-term. Unless we are in a 20-year war, which I guess is possible, but, we'll see. WRK, this stock just looks to be grinding lower. I'm not really sure, maybe just watch this little trend. It's sort of like a downtrend. Big time resistance here at 48. Watch out for that. Watch out for this huge resistance here at 48. Right there. 48. That's pretty nasty resistance there. All right, guys. That's all I got. Thank you for being here. Press the like button. Subscribe if you'd like. What else? Be safe today. Let's see if that continuation is there. Let's see if the Nasdaq and the ES close above the 20 SMA. I think that's number one. I'd say take it easy today. I say don't go crazy and try to go and buy long dated calls because you think the market's back or just this is a day to read and to understand what the next move is. So today's, I think, very important. Maybe we take advantage tomorrow off some 0 DTE on Friday. That could be fun. I am excited for that. So thank you, guys. Press the like button if you could before you leave. Subscribe to the channel. Help me get to 50K. We're a little bit far away, but with your guys' help, we can get there. So thank you guys again, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace out.